And now it's time for the big interview here on RX Radio Breakfast. I had the honour of interviewing my sister for today's big interview. It is a pre-recorded interview, obviously because she's at school, and that's what the interview is about. It is about being back at school, what it's like being back at school, etc. Because obviously in the Western Cape, schools are back. Kids, including my sister in grade 7 and matrics, have gone back to school. They've been social distancing. They've been trying to keep it all safe and secure. It's been an interesting first week and a half. Some schools haven't been ready in the other provinces, including in the Western Cape. Some schools haven't been ready, but most have. But other provinces, there's still 3,000 and something schools that aren't ready. It's been a big talking topic, a big focus, a big social issue that's been discussed at the moment. But it's going to be interesting now to hear and to see what it's been like being back at school, because I haven't gone back to school. I'm supposedly going back somewhere in July, on like the 6th of July or something. Maybe. That's still possible. It might change, because if we hit a peak in cases, maybe we don't go back to school. So we're going to dive into this interview now. We're going to join in right at the start and find out what it's like to be back at school with my sister, Robyn. So what happens on a school day? What time do you get to school? And what do you do when you get to school?
We can go to school from 8:30 to 9. That's the screening session where we have to go and they check our temperatures and make sure we hand sanitize. Then we go to our class and wait for all of our other classmates to come. And we're split into 4 different crews. And our desks are 1.5 meters apart from each other. And when it's 9 o'clock, we start our school day. We have 2 lessons, which are about 45 minutes each. Then we have lunch. We sit at our desks and eat. And we're not allowed to talk to each other because our masks will obviously be off. Then once we've finished eating, it's about 15 minutes. We go out to break, which is also known as movement, because some days we do exercise out at break, but we are social distancing from each other. And our exercise is about 15 minutes. Then we have to go back upstairs and sanitize. And then we have 2 more lessons, which are each 45 minutes long. And then we have the end of the day. And we all have to exit at our given gate.
So in these crews that you spend the day with, how many people are in each crew?
Well, as I said, there are 4 different crews and our classroom sizes are all different. So we each have a different amount of people in our crew. My crew is the smallest crew. We have 10 people in our classroom as opposed to 28. And we're in a normal size classroom. But next to us, there's another classroom. They have 13 people. Then in our big library, there are 18 people. And in our big hall, there are 33 people. And they managed to keep all the desks 1.5 meters apart from each other.
And then what has it been like having lessons where you have to wear a mask and the teacher has to wear a mask? How's that been?
You get used to it. It's actually, you don't really notice it. Unless you're wearing Mama's one, where it's so tight, yeah.
Okay. And then, what have other girls been saying about being back at school? Are all girls back in your grade, or are some staying at home still?
So some girls are staying at home to do the remote learning because our school is still sending out online work. So you can choose to stay home and you're doing the same work as we would do in class. Except if you choose to go to school, you get the full teacher's description of the work. But I think only a few number of girls aren't coming. The majority are. About 5 girls, maybe, aren't coming.
And then what do you guys talk about during break? Are you able to talk to each other? Are you able to communicate?
Yes, we are able to talk and communicate, but I guess it's quite difficult because we don't have all our friends in our crew. So it's kind of hard to communicate with other friends. We have to shout across the field to get the other person's attention, and they don't really hear us because we have the masks on. But otherwise, it's great because the teachers play loud music for us to dance to.
Have you been learning all your subjects, or are some of the subjects not being done?
We are learning all our subjects, but just it takes longer because we have to try and do all the subjects over the whole entire week.
So do you have a new schedule or new timetable for that?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so it's not following the same timetable that you had before.
No.
Okay, cool. And then there's no sport or extramural things yet.
No, but we still do exercise during break, called movement.
And then what about music? Because I know obviously you play the bass guitar. Are you able to keep doing that at school?
So no, we aren't. We are doing online music lessons like before, on Zoom. But we do have class music lessons still.
And is that one of the subjects that you do?
Yes, but we don't use any musical instruments or do that. We just do like theory.
Now, Robs, just before we ask you the last question, is there anything else you would like to add?
I wish everyone well during lockdown. I hope you're doing well, and good luck for those who are coming back to school next.
Cool. And then lastly, what have you been doing to stay entertained during the lockdown?
So what I have been doing is I have been learning how to play the harmonica, and I've learned quite a few songs. I'm relearning how to play the classical guitar because I started learning that a few years ago. And I am doing acoustic guitar, and I am playing bass guitar as well.
Robs, thank you so much for joining me on the show today, and all the best for school, and thanks for sharing about school.
You're listening to RX Radio.
For and by children.
RX Radio. RX Radio rocks.